Good morning, everyone. I am Malinao, and I will be the first reporter of the topic, Unit 8, Lesson 1, Basic Instructional Principles. So before we start our discussion, we will first identify the learning outcomes. So within this unit, the per-service teachers are expected to, first, explain the different parts of an instructional plan, next, create an instructional plan scoring rubric, and lastly, design an instructional plan that incorporates both the child and family outcomes in partnership with family members and other professionals. So does anyone here have an idea of our topic today? Alright, Mr. Baggin, please stand. Alright, that's correct. So, an overview of our topic today. Instructional planning is one of the most challenging tasks of a teacher. It's because it takes expertise and creativity to make a good plan. Every teacher is expected to, before coming to his or her class, to have plans of what the child will do, how he or she will carry out the lesson, and what assessment tools he or she will use in measuring what students have learned, so that teachers will not have difficulties on adjusting students and also teaching some lessons to them. Instructional planning may be a burden for some teachers. It's because instructional plan is not as easy as we thought. But without a good plan, an effective and efficient teaching and learning process will be difficult to attain. It is therefore important for all teachers to experience the process of making and designing good instructional plans. As future teachers like me, you and I will be tasked to write a plan every day as long as you still teach, so that you have to master it early as college years, so that you are already in the field. It will be easier for you to make and design instructional plans. So it makes us feel easy if we start doing instructional plans in our college years, so that it will not get so difficult in times of our teaching in the coming years. So, instructional planning. Instructional planning is an essential part of the teaching and learning process. It serves as a blueprint of what students will learn during the teaching phase. It usually includes the learning objectives, the content, the materials, strategies, and assessment. Instructional planning assures that teaching and learning are the focus of classroom activities. So, instructional planning is a teaching and learning process. It serves as a blueprint which students will learn during teaching phase. Instructional planning assures that teaching and learning are the focus of classroom activities. It also guarantees that what is happening in the classroom is used for instructions. It is generally defined as systematic process of planning, developing, evaluating, and managing the instructional process by using the different principles of teaching and learning of DepEd Order number 42, Section 2016. So, according to Smith and Ragan of 2004, defined instructional planning as a process of translating principles of learning and instruction into plans for instructional materials, activities, information resources, and evaluation. A teacher who plans a lesson is like an engineer who prepares a blueprint before building the structure. So, a teacher will start an instructional planning like an engineer, so that it will be easier for the teacher to teach, or what will they teach on that day. When you plan, you begin with an end in mind. Studies repeatedly affirm the importance of instructional planning in teaching learning process. Studies showed that teachers who plan their lessons are effective and efficient by DepEd Order number 42, section 2016. So when planning your lessons, it is important to ask yourself for the following important questions. First, what type of students do I have? Next, what will I teach? Third, how much time do I have? Fourth, what will the students do during and after teaching? Fifth, what strategies will I utilize? Sixth, how will I assess and evaluate the learning? 7, how can I improve my next lessons? So these are the important questions to ask yourself in making an instructional plan. So the Department of Education 2016 proposed 2 types of instructional plans, namely the Daily Lesson Log or DLL and Daily Lesson Plan. The Daily Lesson Log is used for the teachers to outline the learning objectives, content, learning resources, procedures, remarks, and reflections. Meanwhile, the Daily Lesson Plan serves as a roadmap for the lessons, which contains the objectives, content, learning resources, procedures, remarks, and reflection. So generally, the instructional process includes the lesson planning, instructional delivery, and assessing learning. This means that teachers are expected to develop a plan, implement the plan, and measure how effectively he or she implemented a plan by DepEd Order number 42, section 2016. So the difference between daily lesson log and daily lesson plan. The daily lesson log refers to a concise key lesson elements, while the daily lesson plan is a detailed step-by-step guide for teaching the lesson. So Strong of 2007, as cited in DepEd Order number 42, section 2016, mentioned the following elements of instructional planning for effective teaching, to wit: A. Identifying clear lessons and learning objectives while carefully linking activities to them, which is essential for effectiveness. Next, creating quality assignments, which is positively associated with quality instruction and quality student work. C. Planning lessons that have clear goals, are logically structured, and progress through the content step by step. Letter D. Planning the instructional strategies to be deployed in a classroom and the timing of these strategies. Letter E. Using advanced organizers, graphic organizers, and outlines to plan for effective instructional delivery. Letter F. Considering the student attention spans and learning styles when designing a lessons. G. Systematically developing objectives, questions, and higher level and lower level cognitive skill as appropriate for the content a student therefore have learner-centered objectives that are aligned with the standards of the curriculum. So as what I have mentioned, those are the elements of instructional planning for effective teaching according to Strong. So all the contents and skills in the daily lesson log or daily lesson plan must be aligned or in accordance with the K-12 basic education curriculum. It is also worth noting that DLL and DLP only serve as guides to carry out lessons. Teachers have the responsibility to implement the DLL or DLP with flexibility depending on the situation or learning moments. So that's all. I will now give the microphone to Mary Joy Miñoza. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Once again, I am Rachel Miñoza, and I will continue to discuss to you about the basic instructional principles that Miss Jaya Malinao started. Instructional planning is an essential part of the teaching-learning process. It is generally defined as a systematic process of planning, developing, evaluating, and managing the instructional process by using the different principles of teaching and learning. Is by DepEd Order Number 42, Section 2016. Studies repeatedly affirmed the importance of instructional planning in teaching-learning process. Studies showed that teachers who plan their lessons are effective and efficient by again DepEd Order Number 42, Section of 2016. The Department of Education, or DepEd, in 2016 proposed two mainly types of instructional plans, namely daily lesson log or DLL, and daily lesson plan, or DLP. The daily lesson log is used for the teachers to outline the learning objectives, content, learning resources, procedures, remarks, and reflection. Meanwhile, the daily lesson plan serves as a roadmap for the lesson, which contains the objectives, content, learning resource, procedures, remarks, and reflection. It is also said that daily lesson log or DLL is made per day in a week, while the daily lesson plan or DLP is per week only. I have here an sample kindergarten daily lesson log based on DepEd Order Number 42, Section of 2016. I apologize for the table that cannot be seen, but I will send it to our group chat in order for you to see it clearly. In the first table we have here school, teacher, teaching dates and time, grade level, learner area, and quarter. If you have a book, you can see the table there that I will read now. But first, let me read the table. The first line you will see a row. The first row you will see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Only Friday because this is only for kindergarten. Sorry for that. And a second row, you can see there the objectives. Next is the content standards, performance standards, learning competences or objectives, while the LC code for each. Sorry. Next is the content, learning resources, references, teacher's guide pages, learner's material pages, textbook pages, additional materials from learning resource or LR portal. Other learning resources. Next, procedures, reviewing previous lessons or presenting the new lesson, establishing a purpose for the lesson, presenting examples or instances of the new lesson. Now, I will read what is in the table. This is only a sample of a daily lesson log based on DepEd Order Number 42, Section 2016. It says there that the school is from Tangke Elementary School. And the teacher is Miss Ginalen M. Cabanes. Grade level, kindergarten. Learning area are language, literacy and communication, mathematics, kalusugang pisikal at pagpapaunlad sa kakayahang motor, pagpapaunlad sa kakayahang Socio-emotional. The teaching date and time is June 7, 2021, 8 a.m. to 10:40 a.m. It is for quarter 1 or first quarter. Procedu- procedures, procedures, objectives, content focus. We do many things in school is the content focus. Arrival is 8 to 8:10 a.m. and developmental domains are language, literacy, and communication. For Monday, the teacher greets each student as they enter the classroom. After the daily routines will follow, which is the daily routine are singing of the Philippine National Anthem, opening prayer, exercise, attendance check, weather check, checking of calendar, cleanliness check, sharing times with classmates, getting ready for the class or short review of the previous lesson. Excuse me. Content standard. The child demonstrates an understanding of increasing his or her conversation skills. For performance standard, the child shall be able to confidently speak and express his or her feelings and ideas in words that make sense. In learning competences codes, we have LL, KVPD, LA 13 and LLKOL LA 1 2 and LLKOL LG 3 and 9. And the last one is LLKOL 00 10. Meeting time number 1 is 8:10 to 8:20. Developmental domains are sorting and classifying. The teacher will make shape cards, and the shape cards will be cut into 3 to 4 puzzle pieces. The teacher will ask every pupil to form a shape using the puzzle pieces. After, the pupil will have to name the shape after the puzzle has been completed. Excuse me. Content standard. The child demonstrates an understanding of objects in the environment have properties or attributes. Performance standard. The child shall be able to manipulate objects based on properties or attributes. Learning competency code is only one, which is MKSC-00-6. For work period number 1, the last time is meeting time number 1. This time, we'll have work period number 1. Sorry for that. The time is 8:20 to 9:05 in the morning. Developmental domains are visual perception and discrimination. The pupils will name the different names found in the picture with the teacher. They will also encircle the words that have the same initial sounds. Examples: manok, maya, pusa. So, manok, maya, pusa. Number 2, sili, bawang, sibuyas. Mais, kamatis, kasoy. So, mais, kamatis, then kasoy. Palaka, pagong, daga. For content standard, the child demonstrates an understanding of similarities and differences in what he or she. For performance standard, the child shall be able to actively listen to sounds around him or her and is attentive to make judgments and respond accordingly. For the learning competency code is LLKVPD. Next is for the meeting time number 2. It is 9:05 to 9:20 a.m. Developmental domains: language, literacy, and communication. The teacher will provide the pupils with a worksheet. The worksheet consists of a big and small letter D. They will be instructed to trace first the letters and thereafter write the letters correctly. Content standard: the child demonstrates an understanding of letter representation of sounds that letters as symbols have names and distinct sounds. Performance standard: the child shall identify the letter names and sounds. Learning competency code is LLKH-00-6. Excuse me. Supervised recess is 9:20 to 9:35. They only have 15 minutes to eat. So they only have 15 minutes to eat or to rest. Developmental domains: pangangalaga sa sariling kalusugan at kaligtasan. The recess will start with a short prayer. After, the pupils will be given time to take their snacks with the teacher's supervision. The parents or guardians may also assist their children while taking their snacks. Obviously because they are still kindergartens. Content standard: ang bata ay nagkakaroon ng pag-uunawa sa kakayahang pangalagaan ang sarili at kalusugan at kaligtasan. For performance standard: ang mga bata ay nagpapamalas ng pagsasagawa ng mga pangunahing kasaysayan ukol sa pansariling kalinisan sa pang-araw-araw na pamumuhay at pangangalaga para sa sariling kaligtasan. For learning competency code is KPKK-IN-1. Nap time: 9:35 to 9:45 a.m. The pupils will be given time to take a nap or rest. Work period 2, 9:45 to 10. Developmental domains are pagpapaunlad sa kakayahang socio-emotional. The pupils, together with the teacher, will sing the following songs. I am sorry, but I am not a singer. But I am not also familiar with this song. I am sorry. For content standard: ang bata ay nagkakaroon ng pag-unawa sa sariling ugali at damdamin. Performance standard: ang bata ay nagpapamalas ng kakayahang kontrolin ang sariling damdamin at pag-uugali, gumawa ng desisyon, at magtagumpay sa kanyang mga gawain. Learning competency code is SEKPSE-IF-2. For indoor and outdoor play, 10 to 10:30 a.m. with developmental domains that are language, literacy, and communication. All the pupils will sit in a circle on the floor. A pupil will be chosen to start the introduction game. The child says his or her name, then introduces the child next to her. For example, ako si Grace, at siya naman ang aking kaklase na si Gina. Gina then gives her name and introduces the child next to her, and so on. For example, again, ako si Grace, at siya naman aking kaklase na si Gina. And Gina will stand up and introduce again herself and calls the pupil that is beside her. Ako si Gina at siya naman ang aking kaklase na si ano yung pangalan. For content standard, the child demonstrates an understanding of increasing his or her conversation skills. For performance standard, the child shall be able to confidently speak and express his or her feelings and ideas in words that make sense. Learning competency code LLKVPD-LA-13. Last is the meeting time 3, that is conducted at the time 10:30 a.m. to 10:40 a.m. Dismissal routine. The pupils with teachers will sing the song "It's Time to End the Day." In the title, "It's Time to End the Day," and I don't know the song again, so I am sorry, I will not sing that. After singing the song, a short prayer will follow, then a short dismissal reminder will be given. For remarks, some of my children have difficulty, particularly John and Diane have problems writing letters. James has difficulty following instructions. He seems restless and like to keep on moving. For reflection, I should have a conference with the parents and the children that are having difficulty in my class, so that they will know the situation of their children, so that I can also seek help from them to address the problem of their children. So that will be all. Once again, good morning. I am Miñoza, and this is the end of our report. Thank you.